What is this bullshit? All right. What else can go wrong? Jesus Christ. I wonder why I drink on the show. Y'all wonder? Well, you really do. Well, yeah, getting scheduled, what the fuck? A week in advance, apparently? Lennon, no. Whoops. Damn it. Spilling beer all over my fucking socks. Just drinking a Long Hammer IPA from Red Hook, by the way. Which I can't remember the last time I actually had this. This is my regular house beer. You know, pretty decent for the price. Pretty decent, what do you call it? Punching up. Alcohol-wise. Not bad taste to it. And yeah, just good beer. But I have it in the glass I had last night. This glass brought to you by Three Sheets Brewing down in Albany, Oregon. Is it Albany or Corvallis? I can't remember. Albany, Oregon. And like a lot of breweries I've been to, I went there and I tried pretty much everything they had, and you know, no disappointment with any of them. Not bad. About as the same as it comes out of the can. You know what? I actually need to. When I get a chance, I'm gonna try this out of a glass bottle and put them side to side with ones that comes out of a can. I want to see if there's an actual difference, because I've been drinking this beer for years now, and it's been consistent. It's a good beer, which is why it's my house beer. But I want to see if there's an actual difference. That way, I'll be able to tell there's a real difference between glass and can. This is Wide Open Phones. Thank you very much for joining. This is the Saturday program, coming to you live from Fort Sky Dungeon. Now, who knows these days? I tried last Halloween, as you may well have heard. I tried going to, well, I didn't try going. I called ahead because that's the smart thing to do. I called ahead. So the bars that I wanted to go to, there was one place, I think it was about 4 or 5 miles away, so I could either bike there fairly quickly, or I could take an Uber. It wouldn't be, you know, like a $50 ride or something like that. And I looked, and a lot of the other places, they showed that they were closing down at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever. This place, you know, said they stayed up until 2. So I called ahead to this place, and this kind of gives the things away. I called the other places, and guess what? All of them closed at 11. All of them had last call at 10:30. Which, by the way, in case you're unaware, Ray John, you may not have been to a bar. Who knows? I think you're still pretty young there. So let me tell you what happens at a bar. So closing time is at 2 o'clock, and especially if you're going to a place that does live music, karaoke, or whatever, they'll play the song "Closing Time," and I can't remember who it's by, but everybody has heard this song. If you've been to a bar, you've heard this song. So closing time is at 2 o'clock. They will call. They're supposed to call closing time at 1:45. Here's the reality. They actually call closing time at 1:30, 1:35, and then they shut off they stop serving around 1:45, 1:50 in order to get you out by 2 o'clock. So they're actually early for that. What that means is that you'd be lucky to get your last drink at about 10:15 p.m., uh, depending on where you are at the actual bar. So there was no point in going out. Maybe you're in that situation that I'm in now. There's nowhere to go after you get off of work. Fuck, hey, you know what? First shifters, you work at eight to four, 9 to 5, or 8 to 5, or 9 to 4, whatever the fuck it is, and you can go get dinner and maybe go out and and just hang out till 10:15 or so. Maybe you'll be able to go out. Yeah, I'm fucked. Earliest I'm getting off is like maybe 9 o'clock. Again, that's within my control, but I work with where the demand is. So there's still demand, 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock. So I'm not going out. There's no point. By the time I get there, if they're not already like fully closed and boarded up and everything, everyone's already leaving. So maybe you're in that boat. Just by the viewer count, not too many people are in that boat. But if you are, this is the show for you. Maybe you want to listen on a replay. You listen Sunday morning when you wake up. Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, whenever. But if you're here tonight, this is Wide Open Phones. You can talk about whatever you like. Completely wide open. I do have a topic tonight, as you may well have seen. Grayjon certainly saw it. I'm sure that's what inspired his comments. But anything goes here. And before we get to that particular topic, I'm going to turn the heat up, actually. Give me a minute. I was passing I was on the way here, and feels a little bit nippy outside. I do pretty well in the cold, believe it or not, despite my skin color. Man, did I just get like some bunk tobacco, or do I have to light this every time I fucking take a hit off of it? I don't know. That's better. Maybe I'm not packing it right. I'll try packing it better next time. It'll be in about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm new to pipe smoking. In case you missed last night's show, which I put up today. You can go to thegoddamnbacon.com. You should be able to see that on the screen there. The yes, you are fuck thing, that's just something that I added. That's not an actual URL. Do not click on that. Do not type that out. Just go to thegoddamnbacon.com. Someone is staying lit. I'm gonna dump this. I'm gonna try packing a little bit more here. I tried cigar thing, not just on Nick August, by the way. Nick August dot XYZ, I believe. And there's what he's trying to get put out there, punchriot.com. That's his own magazine. I believe he does release twice every month. So if you want something to read, like and it's not just fluff or bullshit, shit that's actually interesting, go to punchriot.com. And see what Nick and his team of writers have to offer. Rob or robsays.net is is on there. Vince of masculinegeek.life. He has his own series that he's working on there. He actually did a show today where he had kind of a writers roundtable, which I was not invited to, and I'm very fucking upset about that. But that's okay because you're talking about kind of fiction writers and stories and all that stuff. And I usually don't do that. I usually do philosophy pieces. So it's all right. Water under the bridge. TJ Martinell, tjmartinell.com. Houston Subgirl. You can find it, houstonsubgirl.com. She actually does have her own stories up there. I'm going to try to keep a cherry on this pipe here. One other person, I think he's on there, Barry Nishizawa. I believe that's his name. And I don't know if he has a website. I haven't looked. But he definitely has I think he does have a YouTube account. I know he has a Twitter account with that name. Barry Yishizawa. He was on that panel. Oh, James Streisand, ashofcreativity.com. Yeah, I think this may be the tobacco. Here's the thing about I've been smoking out of this pipe for less than a week. I just got it this Monday. It's Saturday now. Technically Sunday, but fuck you. It's still Saturday. Now, I have not looked into any of this, how to do it, or anything like that. I just got a pretty decent looking pipe. standard shape for your pipe. And I went to the local place to get some, just the smallest thing of tobacco that I could find. And that's what I'm rocking with. What is this tobacco? Hang on. First Choice Premium. It has a picture of a Indian guy with like the war chief's headband or headdress on. Full flavor, premium blend, made in the USA. Well, if you're fucking native, I'm assuming you're in the fucking Americas. Natural pipe tobacco, net weight 1 ounce. And for me, this is still a pretty big fucking bag. But yeah, this keeps going out. I have to keep relighting it. So I don't know if that's something you expect from this brand or just smoking cigars in general. I think, it's kind of like a good cigar. It'll stay lit. But there you have it. I don't know. This is just my interest. I actually figured out you do have to fucking clean these things. Cigar is kind of one and done, or 2 and 3 and done, depending on how long you smoke it. You can put it out and relight it again. But once it's gone, it's gone. Pipe, you're adding more tobacco and stuff in it, and it's a physical thing, so you have to keep lighting the damn thing, or you have to keep lighting it, but you also build up gunk, you build up tar residue, whatever it's called. I'm talking about that in Mask and Geek, the writers' round table in the comment section. So I had to clean it today. It was working like shit last night. It's working a lot better now. Leading me to believe that maybe it is the tobacco. Maybe I should have spent a little bit more for the good stuff. But I didn't want to get anything, too big. Or have this massive fucking pile of tobacco, and for whatever reason, I don't like cigars, or not cigar, but pipe smoking. And I have this big thing of tobacco that I'm not going to do anything with. And as far as I know, no one around here smokes out of a pipe. So I'd be fucked in that regard. Now, have you guys seen the picture the cover picture I decided to put up there? Probably have an idea of what I'm talking about, or what the regular subject matter is going to be here. It was a nice plume. It actually tasted pretty good too. Before I do that, get myself something to eat here. Please stand by. We're getting more heat out of this thing. There we go. Yeah, heat this motherfucker up! I don't know how bad that sounds, so forgive me if it does. Place this on hold for a moment. Again, in case you're wondering, back when I actually used to have guests on this particular program, or any program, when I wasn't just doing solo shit, I don't know. I guess I was back doing a lot of lockdowns and stuff. There was nowhere to go, so people would actually, they would tune in. They would actually interact here. They don't do that so much anymore. I guess they've all found something else to do, so that's fine. I'm just doing this for the content and because, again, there's no bar for me to go to, so why not just create content here? Back then, I found out very quickly that depending on how long we go, we're talking about this is Pacific Standard Time here. We're talking about going 3, 4, maybe 5 in the morning, maybe even a little bit past that. When I think it, I'm just doing the damn show, and guess what I'm doing? The same thing that everyone that cares about you, and trust me, I've gotten this question more than once from more than one lady. Did you forget to eat? Literally, I will forget to eat. So now I make sure, even if I'm just doing this like I'm doing it now, just solo, I have something that I can eat, just so I make sure my energy levels are staying up the next day. Make sure that my muscles are being maintained also. It's kind of important, by the way. Make sure you get your goddamn protein in. That's what I'm doing now. Get your protein in, get your saturated fat in. Not just regular fat, but saturated fat. There's your nutritional tip for today. Protein and saturated fat. By the way, little spoiler alert. It's how you avoid getting, what is it, alcoholic fatty liver. And I've seen what that actually looks like in person. More on that coming up in a future episode or show or post or something that I'm going to end up doing. So the results are quote unquote in. Now let me take you back in time. And we'll work with this timeline here. So Tuesday night or Tuesday, I wake up and that's the day that Nick August basically he planned his marathon show of where he would have a bunch of personalities on Safety Doc, the Free Rifleman, John Steele, who else? Drew Bay, Bay.com. I should have caught that. Safety Doc, I'm going to get ahead of myself. Safety Doc did a show today. Apparently it's his birthday, so go wish him a happy birthday if you're listening to this. He talked about Drew Bay's program, and he label. I don't think it's drewbay.com. It's just bay.com. Baye. That is Bravo Alpha Yankee Echo.com. He was on the show. He actually showed up with this mask and I think something else. Oh, Vince of MaskingGeek.life showed up. Rob says showed up. Not that long though, for whatever reason. Maybe he had other things going on. I'm forgetting other people, but just go to Nick August. Go to Nick August. This is his latest show. Go check that out. We went on for 7 hours, and I was there for maybe an hour and a half because I kept having technical issues. Long story short, it was the start of the what we were calling the Collapsitarian Olympics. We were doing the Apocalypse Bingo episode. We are just kind of watching things now. I ended up kind of just fading out a little bit early, of which Nick August faded out before I did. Me, I think Skip, that's the free rifleman guy in Safety Dock. We kept going, and I think I fell asleep live on the fucking show. But I do remember waking back up, I think about midnight or so. This time, of course, Pacific Standard Time. And, I'm looking at some of the tweet stuff, and I look and was like, I'm going to check to see what the results are. Because I'll tell you what, be honest, I was expecting, like everybody was predicting, I was expecting this to be a landslide for Orange Man there. Because think about it. This whole thing, like, there's like 1 million votes for Trump. They set a fucking Guinness World Record of how many votes were in one rally or one place at one time, like in the fucking world. Tractors for Trump, crop dusters for Trump. That was something I predicted. I don't think it ever happened. Militias for Trump. There were those fucking things going on. And let's not get started with all the fucking online groups. So there's all this fucking support and no support aside from a few choice accounts for Biden, who was running against him. And you factor in the debates, where there's always there's that first one where it's always going to be quite the theatrics. And I even did my own coverage of it because I realized I was on my way home from the Salt Lake meetup. Nick Schulander, I picked him up, stayed at his place on the way there and the way back. NickSchulander.com, by the way. He does online marketing, and he basically is one of the best marketers out there. Picked him up. We stayed at the Airbnb with Amos Joseph, of which was it 10K podcast or something like that. I can't remember. I know he does a podcast, but I can't fucking find it. And Joe Curl, who's no member, we went out there and met the Mask and Geek cast. We did our own sit down. A couple people. I think Chess Rockwell showed up. David J. West showed up, which I didn't know him until now, or until then. It was a good meetup. But the day I was heading back home, it was debate number 1, and that's the one that's going to be the most watched. I actually did a live stream while I was listening to that on the radio, well, as best I could, because I was passing through mountains and shit. Fun fact about AM radio, And with FM, you know, it has this problem because it's pretty range limited, and it definitely will be hindered by the environment. AM is a little bit more tolerant, but if you're surrounded by things that are, you know, like basically end up being walls, also fucks things up. So while it has a longer range, you know, you'll lose a lot of the signal. You won't be able to hear anything, basically, depending on what it was. And I'm passing through, like, what is it, Snoqualmie Pass and Leavenworth and all this shit. So I got as much as I could. But I heard enough. It was like, I'm listening to this. I'm listening to all the other arguments, you know, not just on the debate, but off of it. And not even touch on the vice presidential debate where, look, I don't care which side you're on. Mike Pence destroyed Kamala, you know, in that fucking debate. Wasn't even close. And everything he said, it was like a dismantling, basically. Like, you really have to be retarded to think that she actually fucking won that debate. More on that coming up. Speaking of coming up, and Red Hook did pretty fucking good, but I'm gonna move on to some wine here because, well, hell, got wine. You know what? I want to break out some cheese too. Why the fuck not? What we got here? Yancey's Fancy New York artisan cheese. Pasteurized process. Wait, what? Horseradish and smoked bacon. I'll be back with my wine glass. Still has wine in it for some reason. Oh boy, it is cold out there. It is cold out there. Give me a sec. I need to do something. Still, I hit the grace, but it's not that bad. I actually woke up to my wine glass sitting out last night, complete with wine still in it. So finishing that too. Waste not, want not. Fuck it, we're gonna go full charcuterie here. Wine, cheese, and cured meats. I have not had this particular brand of cheese before. I saw it at the local supermarket that I go to. That not only they have like somehow they have meat that's like way below market value, but is still somehow good, or at least halfway decent. It's at least on par with what most people get the local supermarkets, the local butcher, whatever. Not the local butcher, but the butcher that's in the supermarket. Wine's the same way. A lot of other meat products. Somehow they do it. I don't know. You got me on that one. Don't ask me how I know, because I don't. But they don't enforce that mask bullshit. And I think that's just because of the town that they're in, that I live in. Like maybe 2 or 3 businesses care, most of them don't. They're pretty libertine about that. So it's the other reason I shop out there. Also, where I'm at, you know what? Maybe who knows? She's the next hot Russian ex. She got a real kick out of the gear that I was rocking, to the point where she actually wanted to, she not only like waved and like laughed and shit, but she got out of the car just to talk to me because of that. Maybe this is better served in the fridge. Ooh, that's definitely got horseradish in it, that's for sure. But to get back to the point, everything was indicating, you know, Trump was going to win. A lot of the the one poll I think that I believe, I think it was 538 or something. They predicted Trump won the last time. They were saying he was good again. All your main sites, or your mainstream, outlets, CNN, MSNBC, I think even Fox News, CBS, whatever. They were saying he was going to lose, and they did. The exact same thing happened last year, and they even said, everything looked like last year, basically. Except, I don't think there was a grab him by the pussy thing that was brought up. There wasn't really much they brought up on Trump. It was just regular bullshit, but they brought up a whole lot of shit on Biden, dude, like him sniffing little girls and other people's girlfriends and all this shit. Kamala Harris, like, literally sleeping her way to the top. All this stuff. So as bad as it looked for Clinton back in 2016, this was way fucking worse for them. And let's not talk local. Let's talk about Washington State. I've watched a lot of businesses, go out of business because of all the COVID bullshit, and then some of the Black Lives Matter bullshit. Again, Safety PhD, to talk about him again, ends up getting his Twitter account locked literally the night that all hell broke loose here in Portland and LA and all over the places, because I think it was George Floyd or whoever the fuck his name was. Even now, a lot of the ones that are still remaining, like they're not all of them, but quite a few are fucking boarded up now. That's not a good look for any business. And even up here, you know, I saw one sign for Inslee, and that was when I was on my way to my folks' place down where they live. Every other sign that was for Lauren Culp, that was the person who was running against him. Signs not just in my area, not just at all places, but all fucking places, Seattle. Literally signs that says Lauren Culp kill Seattle, and there were plenty of people like there over freeway overpasses. They were like vote the Trump GOP out and all this bullshit. But the same fucking overpass, they will have people like doing Lauren Culp vote Trump in, I guess. Again, I'm not saying I'm taking any side here, but it seemed there were also signs like what was it vote Jenny Durkin, that's the Seattle mayor, out because of what she did during the COVID bullshit. There was almost no support for any of the people who were still here. I don't know if she's getting voted out or not. That's one thing I didn't actually check, and I probably should have. But I mean, maybe I didn't think about this until now. Maybe this is the same thing that happened. The same thing is happening now. I guess the people that are on the right, the same thing that happened to people on the left. Maybe they got too complacent. They thought, it's a shoe-in, it's a victory. You don't have to go out and vote, or maybe whatever. Although all the indicators are like they were going to go out and vote. Come hell or high water, they're all going to go vote in person. If they're going to try, someone was going to try to stop them from voting for their preferred master there, basically. It was like, go ahead and try to make them. Maybe they didn't. Because as far as the right's concerned, this is a massive fucking loss. And I mean massive. How did literally the worst candidate I could think of, even Hillary Clinton, she's fucking as deplorable as she said her opponents were. But at least she has her mental faculties together. This guy clearly fucking doesn't. And it's been shown for fucking months now. How did he get the fucking victory? Really? When all the indications were that and maybe I'm not getting all sides here. You guys want to educate me on the other sides? Were there a lot of Biden rallies or anything? I don't remember seeing them. I saw a lot of Trump rallies. Where did those people fucking go? Were they, like I say, in the article Patriot, were they all just all talk and no walk? Very well could be the case, but yeah, all you MAGA mamas, you MAGA patriots, all this shit, you fucking lost. And how did you fucking lose? Not to be outdone here, of all places, Juan does not have a website, if I remember correctly. You can find him at underscore Lou 415. 415 is the official area code of San Francisco, by the way. Lou, that is Lima Umbrella, I think. No, Lima Oscar Umbrella. I can't remember what U is in the phonetic alphabet. It is a lot of documentation of what's really going on in San Francisco versus what you're being shown. So we're checking out. Plus, he's a pretty cool dude. He's also a mechanic. He works on cars and stuff. He'll show like street shows and shit like that. And at some point, even I thought, when was it? California was going to turn red. Nevada was already red. Arizona, there's no way it can't be red. I was even saying, just from what I'm seeing, Washington's going to be red. No, apparently it all turned blue. Apparently. Now, there's also a lot of the voter fraud stuff going on. I won't cover all of them, but the one that I noticed that was the most glaring. This is something I'm going to check, actually. Because I have both implements of writing. But apparently, if you use a Sharpie, a marker, it doesn't get picked up the same way that a ball pen point would pick things up, like something with actual ink. And a lot of people, and I don't know how the fuck they figured this shit out. Maybe they're walking in with fucking Trump hats on or something like that. Again, shut your trap, fool. The whole thing about voting, one of the things about voting is supposed to be anonymous. So why are you bringing that shit up? Why are you wearing anything that would give that away is beyond me. I mean, if you're that proud, okay, that's fine. Be proud on your own fucking time, not when you're fucking going out and voting, especially if you're expecting actual, physical resistance against your own damn party. So maybe that's how they figured it out. But apparently, they were stopping people from using ballpoint pens and then giving them markers to use, Sharpies, which apparently their polling machines don't recognize the votes, and so they don't get counted. And it's only gone one way. Every time, it goes against, Orange Man bad, and gets looked over. Only personalities on Twitter and Instagram or whatever are counting this, or even YouTube. Anytime it goes for Biden, I'm like, nah, it's totally okay. But I have a much darker take on this, and that is in Safety Doc, maybe he touched on this, and I think he touched on this, finite voltage. Everybody's tired of what the fuck is going on with everything going on these days. And so they want to return to normal. And maybe they see Biden as a way to return things to normal. Maybe you see Trump, which rightfully they will see as a polarizing figure, whether you agree with him or not, whether you like him or not. Maybe they see all this shit that's going on as, Dirk result him, and they want to get back to normal. So they think Biden, who was the vice president, by the way, and I think was a senator beforehand, amongst other things. So he's a familiar face. Maybe they see voting for him as going back to normal. Who knows? I certainly don't know. But again, I'll be honest. I was shocked to see that. I woke up, what was it? Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning, something like that. And I decided to look, at the election results. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to see how much Trump was winning over Biden. And I'm looking and was like, wait a minute, this can't be right. How is Biden leading over Trump? After everything we've fucking seen, after everything that's been put out there, after everything that at least I know about, how is he winning? How? Then later, I hear from another fellow guy who's actually, I think he lives in Seattle, or maybe at least close by. Hensley gets elected after all the shit that he's done to fuck over the companies and businesses and all stuff here. How does he get elected again? And this actually by a fucking landslide. Now I looked at the counties and who they voted for. There was a lot of the outlier counties. King County obviously voted for them. Pierce County surprisingly voted for them. Snohomish, even more surprising, voted for him. Snohomish, in the county, in case you're wondering, that's where the former police chief Carmen Best lives. And that's where they're going to protest outside of her house because reasons. And the citizens themselves stepped up and said, hey, that shit ain't happening. They showed up with fucking rifles and guns and all kinds of shit. That county voted for Inslee. Yeah, most of the cities in Seattle. Seattle itself. Auburn, Federal Way, Kent. Places that they don't like the fucking mass bullshit, amongst other things. You're telling me most of the citizens really voted for them? Now, it could be fucking fraud. And that's what I'm thinking is, but you know what? I'm thinking the people really that lost. People are really that lost, number one. Number two, again, my theory of the 95% versus the 5%. It's all talk until action needs to be taken. They're all big talk, Trump train, all this shit, but I guess when it came to ballots, you guys didn't fucking show up. You did exactly what you accused the boomers of, or not the boomers, but the millennials of doing. Again, I'm going to say there was a lot of voter fraud there, but Jesus Christ, how much can there be really when it seemed like the entire fucking country was on track to stop all this shit a lot of things that I saw on the fucking ground, mind you, indicated that, Pelosi's time was up. Jenny Durkin's time is up. Inslee's time is up. Nobody fucking likes them. There's no signs of them, but they somehow get elected in a landslide victory. Really? Voter fraud can only go so fucking far, man. I smell a rat. So no, when it counted, y'all motherfuckers weren't there. That's what I think. Maybe some of you were there. Maybe some of you actually did try to cast your votes, whatever. When it counted, all you fuckers voted. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think happened. Now, what am I going to do about it? Let me tell you what I've been doing about it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think I checked the polls. I had some calls that I needed to make. I made those. I went to work. I came home. In that order. I did things that I needed to do around here. Today, in particular, I woke up a little bit late. Checked around on online for some things. Checked the weather. That affects my business, which is why I checked the weather. Actually, I'm looking at them now. I'm fairly well known for posting pictures of rather decent looking ladies in various stages of dress and undress. Back when I was doing the Laugh at Humanity show, those printed pictures, those would be the backdrop to the live part of when I was broadcasting on Instagram, which I have my own plans for that. But I decided to put those in various different parts of Fort Sky Dungeon here, and even farther than that, a lot of them they have different themes. Some of them have like blue in the background because they have water. Got a bunch of those playing for the bathroom. I even waterproofed a lot of them. Some of them, they're chicks that are working out. It'll be nice motivation to work out. Some of them just look good and they're just there. And that's what I did. Also got a bunch of insulation. The fan you may be hearing in the background, or the fans rather, I got insulation for that. Not only that, but the intake as well. Made sure my car is running okay. Looked at my finance, made sure that shit was in order. Again, I got shit to do. I don't have time to worry about all this political bullshit. I don't. Sure, did I cast my vote? Yeah. I figured I might as well give it a fucking shot. Might as fucking well. So I drove down there and parked at the 7-Eleven that was close by because the line to get there was like literally like 5 fucking miles long. And fuck if I'm gonna wait in that fucking line to burn all my gas up doing that. Gas I had just recently stocked up on, by the way. Joe Dolly over at tactical-wisdom.com. If you're not listening to him now, go listen to him. Go subscribe to his newsletter and all that other stuff. He advises keeping a full tank of gas. Which, since I had a full tank of gas, I did not want to burn it up waiting, idling in line for like 2-3 fucking hours. So I parked and I just walked up there and put my valve in. I actually did that, yes. I did a vote. Will it matter? Probably not. But at least I could say I fucking tried. As far as the system goes. But aside from that, Trump wins and Biden wins. Same Biden won. I still have my questions about that, but let's say we get 4 years of Biden. You know what I'm going to do tomorrow? Winter's coming. It's in the 30s outside right now. Good drop into the 20s, actually. Not the coldest. But especially for this kind of time, that's pretty fucking cold for early November. Maybe it's a reminder that winter is coming. But I got insulation work I need to do. I still need to work on that. I've got acrylic sheets that I need to get. And I'm also going to insulate those as well and put some window film on there. That's something I think Morgan, let's throw her a plug there. RoguePreparedness.com. If you want preparedness ideas that most preppers don't even think about, let alone say, definitely go there. She has a lot of good content. That is Morgan at RoguePreparedness.com. I've been on a campaign to find things that she hasn't thought about. And so far, I have been failing at it. Which is a good thing, because that means she's thought about it, she's put it out there, and she has a pretty decent enough following that a lot of other people will now have also heard of what she has to say. Which means I'm covering old ground, which is good. The right people are going to listen to Prepare Thing. And so, if I'm failing, that's a good thing. If I'm succeeding, then I'm at least helping. It's a bad thing initially, but other people will start thinking of it. Yeah, I got other shit to do. I got more rearranging things here. I've got people to see. What's her name? The new Russian chick who really liked my gear and all that stuff, and to the point where she had to get out of her car to come talk to me, and we ended up talking for an hour. I got plans to go see her at some point. She doesn't know about that yet, but I have yet to tell her. I want to go pick up some more bourbon and, go to a brewery with her, and have her show up there in the process. Be near her area, so she'll be fine. That works out, who knows? But even if it doesn't, I get to visit my old brewery, the one that's literally about 3 or 4 minutes walking away. I got a rock show to do. If you guys are unfamiliar, if you haven't heard about this, I do, Rock Revival Review. I review certain bands that are, from the legends to the latest. From Foo Fighters to the Rival Sons, from Disturbed to Oh god, Bad Wolves. Play some music. That's something I do. I got family to visit. I have friends to talk to. I got shit to do. I'm not worried about this fucking, this election. Okay, I'll be honest. I was absolutely fucking floored. I was surprised at the actual turnout. But given what I know about him, I shouldn't have been that surprised to begin with. One reason, as Doc pointed out, if humans can take any reason to get things back to normal after they've been dealing with chaos for months or years or whatever, they're going to take it. And Biden was that bid for normalcy, even though he was promoting nationwide mask mandates. I mean, I guess a fucking a vaccine mandate is going to be coming as well. Of which I had the opinion of, if a vaccine mandate ends up happening, we're going to see civil war. But based on, and this is something I actually got reminded of today. You guys remember when, what was it, the 3 ounce liquid rule was, put through air travel? I used to work at LAX, and one of the things I used to carry in, and this is not something I would recommend, but I'll get, like, what was it? I go to 7-Eleven, I get 3 liter gulp cups or whatever, or the 3 liter bottles are like Big Red or something, like just some soda, basically just liquid sugar. And that's what I would drink while I'm down there, working in the bagging area. But you still have to pass through TSA and all that stuff to get there. And I don't even remember if I heard about the shoe bomber incident. That's what kicked this off. Because apparently he had more than 3 ounces of whatever explosive he tried to blow the plane up with in his shoes. He ended up getting caught. And literally the next day, I think, if I'm remembering this correctly, a 3 liter bottle of soda I was able to carry. I remember, or no, it wasn't a 3 liter bottle. It was something I got from 7-Eleven. And basically, they said you had to, so you could drink it all now before you go through the checkpoint, or you had to throw it in a trash can. I think I just opted to throw it in the trash can. Even better, me and my buddies who worked there, the same crew, we ended up finding a elevator. Basically, we found a way to get around the TSA check. So we take this elevator and it would get us all the way, I think, down to the ground floor where the planes and tarmac and stuff was. And we just go in there, clock in, and we go in and we still have our drinks and stuff. We did that for about a couple months, and then the cops basically did a sting operation on us. Oh, they were pretty okay. By the way, The way to get in this elevator, somebody had to find a code to get in this elevator. That's the thing about, access to certain things in airports. You have to have a code. They gave us a code, and we started using that. And the cops ended up busting us. They're okay with it. They didn't really care all that much. They kind of held us there for about 20, 30 minutes, and they gave us like warnings. We didn't have to pay anything. We weren't put in jail or anything like that. But yeah, I've lived that. Now, that should have been a warning of what was come. All of these rules, especially as you're seeing now, they're only effective if most of the population follows them. If there was a rule that said that, let's just say, for example, you can't wear shirts in public, whether you're driving anywhere, going to a grocery store, shopping anywhere, going to a rock concert, all that kind of stuff. At least half the society will revolt because half of the society is women. And the ability to show their tits in public, or maybe to show tits to somebody who they would get some value from, all of a sudden that value is thrown away. So in order to have a rule like, wear a mask or get a vaccine or go for the public, what do you call it, social credit score, the public has to go for that. And as evasive and against the Constitution or what the U.S. even started itself for, let alone stands for, on paper at least, that's very well against it. But guess what? Country is only as strong as the people that man it. A ship is only as strong as the people that operate it. You can have the best, battleship in the galaxy. If fucking retards operate it, it'd be taken down by one of the smallest destroyers, and that's the same with countries. The humans of this country are complicit in its destruction because they went right the fucking along and goose step right along with the fucking wear a mask mandate. Despite all the evidence that it doesn't work, despite all the reasoning behind it literally personifying you, it dehumanizes you as a person. Doesn't matter. They don't listen to reason. They don't listen to evidence. They went with it anyways. The 95% went with this shit. And that's the population we're dealing with. So if we talk about the election, if you're talking about anything that has to deal with reason and evidence and philosophy or anything, who are you arguing with? Are you arguing with people like me? Are you arguing with people like Nick Schulander? Are you arguing with people like Aaron Clary? Safety Doc? Nick August? Bull Rush? Anybody like that? Drew Bay? Or are you arguing with the two flavors of what I call zombies? They're the nerfs. They're the ones that they're just not paying attention to anything at all, and that includes just walking through lines on the street and thinking that shields them from fucking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 pounds of steel and fire coming at them at 30, 40 miles an hour. Ask me how I know. Or drones that tell you you need to wear a mask for reasons, and no matter what you say to them, including threats to cut their fucking heads off. And I just got this channel deleted. Whoops. They even haven't come back to that. Which means the only thing they're going to understand is force. And that's the only thing these people understand is force. That's the only thing that's going to get them to stop. You're going to try reasoning with them? I don't know what else you have to do with your time, but for me, I got a lot of other shit to do. The time when it comes to dealing with these people is going to come. We were joking with the Classic Olympics 90 days ago, 60 days ago, 50 days ago, 15 days ago, 7 days ago. Tomorrow things kick off. We all joked about that. I don't think any of us knew that this whole presidential thing, it was going to drag on the way it did. But we all knew it was going to come to this kind of shit. But look, I got shit in the real world to do. Let's talk about the fun things. I want to see this chick who really was excited at the gear that I had on. She was pretty fucking cute. And she was real fun to talk to. I'd like to go see her again. Hopefully something comes of that. I got things to do around here. That's going to have a benefit to me. But worrying about the fucking politics? Worrying about, oh my God, Joe Biden got elected. Now all hell's going to break loose. Well, that's going to happen anyways. Oh my God, Donald Trump got elected. And so all hell is going to continue to break out if you think that. Oh my God. Inslee or Cope got elected. Whatever. Your local, what do you call it? Your local opposition, they got elected. Therefore, panic, fear. Politics is not something you control. Sure, you can cast a vote if that even counts. What you do in your personal life, and your personal interactions with other people, that fucking counts. Tell you what you do with yourself, that counts a lot more. Are you taking care of your health? Are you taking care of your level of fitness? Do you have things stocked up just in case? Not just talking about food, water, and other things that most people talk. Board games, booze, things that make it easier to pass the time. Do you think about those things? What are you able to do in your own power? Aside from worrying about this bullshit. Now, as I said, I was shocked and even just slightly demoralized before I realized, again, We're dealing with the same group of humans that didn't learn from Snowpocalypse. Let me tell you about Snowpocalypse. The night before, I was going in to the local Safeway. It was local at the time, at least. Get a can of soup and like some other sundry things, and I'm walking in. Literally, people are shoveling handfuls of canned goods into their carts because they weren't prepared. And they heard about this the night before it hit. Earlier that day, I woke up, I called my tire shop. I had a slight leak in one of my tires, which is under warranty. And I asked if they'd be able to take a look at it or patch or whatever. I could just drop the tire off. I have another tire I could use. That's fine. There was a 7 hour wait. And the reason there was a 7 hour wait, again, this is before Snowpocalypse. Everybody waited until that day to get their fucking snow tires. I shit you not. That was 2018, if I remember correctly. So that was a couple years ago. 2019, all this bullshit hits. Toilet paper gate happens. Hand sanitizer gate happens. All that shit goes off the shelves. Firewood goes off the shelves. Discount DVDs goes off the shelves. Literally a year after that shit happens in this location, they didn't learn their fucking lessons then. You think they're gonna learn them now? Tell you what, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, this ain't an area I'll be betting in. I'll tell you that. So solutions, what can you do? Do what I was saying. Work on what is in your control. The people that are out there that are voting for all the bullshit that is eventually going to doom this country and that you disagree with, you don't control them. They were to vote anyways. So don't worry about it. Don't even fault them. Most of them, they're not capable of actually thinking for themselves. They're being fed these ideas by somebody else, or they're conditioned to think this way, or both. You're not going to you're not going to convince them. So stop worrying. Instead, worry about what's in your control. Safety Doc mentioned Drew Bay, bay.com, Beta Alpha Yankee Echo.com. Are you making yourself harder to kill? I say that probably is the most important thing you can think of. Work yourself out. Make sure you're eating right. Quick side note, as far as that goes, eat meat and eat saturated fat. Shun everything else out. That's what I'm doing right now. If you don't have your health, you can't do anything else. Even with the internet, it's going to take fucking effort. So figure that out. That's one thing you can do. That's one thing in your power. Pay off your debts. Another thing you do that's in your power. Make more money. Work more. Get those resources. Get the resources at least maybe in fiat currency if you want to call it that, which it is. But fine, get your U.S. dollars, your Canadian dollars, whoever the fuck is listening to this. Get that, convert it into actual resources, food, water, storage for water, coffee, bourbon, which is going to be very fucking nice for trading in the near future. Wine, cured meats, supplements, silver, gold if you have enough, improvements to your own stronghold, your own household, your own apartment complex, whatever. Insulation, utilities cost. So if you can insulate, that helps. Physical things that you can actually control and deal with is what I'm saying. Control what you can actually deal with. That's my whole fucking point. Do you control the elections? No, you don't. So why worry about it? Do you control that idiot that keeps commenting because he wants to have the last word on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever? No, you don't. You can mute him, you can block him, whatever. But aside from that, you have no control of what this guy does unless you're able to physically go find that guy and slit his fucking throat, which is the only way you're going to be able to stop him. What would I recommend? Fine. And Bull Rusher said this too. Chess Rockwell said it as well. Just mute him, block him, leave. Why waste your time? You got much better things to do than deal with this shit. Yeah, what did I do today? Hung up a lot of pictures of nice, hot women that I don't mind looking at. And I will be looking at. Just hanging around the house. A lot of them are actually waterproof just to make sure that should I splash some water on them, the picture doesn't get destroyed. So I got that going for me. I'm making my life better by not worrying about the bullshit that's going on right now. I knew the election shit was going on right now. But I decided to do something else. To actually better my own life. Even if it's just cosmetically, even if it's just working with my own place. I did some installation work here as well too, but look, at the end of the day, if you come home, you want something nice to look at, and that's what I have hanging around here now, and I still have more to post up. I want my place to be a safe haven from the ugliness of the world, and what better way to do it than have the beauty of women around, at least in picture form. And so that's what I do. I work with things that are in my control. I don't worry about what isn't. Who's getting elected? Who fucking knows? Here Biden's being elected. I have my doubts, but even if he is, I don't control that, so why do I worry about it? House of Representatives is divided again. Again, Just a government program. Why do I care? Me and Bull Rush say, like, I will worry about my local stuff, and even that, it's kind of lost. So then I'm not going to worry about that either. If it went my way, I still wouldn't worry about it because I would have no reason to worry about it because it went my way. If it doesn't go my way, is there an appeal process? No, there isn't. So why worry about it? It's not in my control. Who I deal with in my real life, who I deal with at work, that's in my control. What I decide to drink, what I decide to eat, that's in my control. How I decide to decorate my apartment, and whether it's a lot of hot chicks or not, whether anybody wants to come over here and complain about that, that's in my control. How I'm going to redo this window, I'm going to put plexiglass in this at some point and put a film over it so it's a lot, the heating and cooling is a lot more efficient here. That's in my control. All this other bullshit, I'm not worried about it. I don't care. I care enough to at least look, and that's about it. But as far as anything else, why would I lose any sleep over this? Why would I lose any sleep over an election? I sure didn't fucking lose any sleep over this last election because I fell asleep in the middle of the fucking podcast. I don't care. And honestly, why should I? The outcome is going to be the outcome, whether I'm awake for it or not. And so hopefully you're listening to this. Hopefully you end up at least considering that mindset. You got other shit to do. You got a list of groceries that you need to go buy. You have a list of activities that you need to do, maintenance that you need to work on, booze that you need to stock up with, meals that you need to cook. Are you worrying about those? Or are you worrying about that which you do not control? Now, if it's the latter and not the former, then I have questions, my friend. Well, just one question. That's why. You took the time to listen to this, which you don't have to take the time to listen to. This takes time away from your other things that you could be doing. So you take the time to listen to this, but you're still worried about the election and politics and all this shit. Why? What do you get out of it? I'd rather do what I'm doing now, and I'm broadcasting and drinking. And I'm going to go shower, and I'm going to go cook some eggs and some other food, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night. After I'm done with this broadcast, I'm done with politics. I have some other things to listen to. Why are you so worried about the politics that are going on? Why are you so worried about who got elected and who didn't? I understand from a philosophical standpoint, or just from I want the lights to stay on from a standpoint, which it was going the light. I hate to break it to you, the lights are going to go out anyways. The water's going to stop flowing anyways. It's going to happen at some point. It just depends on the time point. It might come a little bit sooner now. Hopefully you're prepared for that. But why worry about it? If you're already prepared, why worry? That's all I'm asking. I'm out. As Drew Bay says, I do need to make myself a little bit harder to kill because I'm pretty hard to kill already. But why not stack the deck? Why not put the odds in my favor. Of an exercise that I've kind of planned that he's actually influenced me on. There's ways, if you don't have any weights, you can do bodyweight exercises where you can gain a shit ton of strength and actual not girth, what the fuck is it? Volume, I think it's called. You can do that. I'm working on that. I'm working on that now, just so I can say I physically have done it. So get on that. I've got my own supervillain supplements looking at me right here. Contact me offline to figure out what they are. And I've got more liquor to drink and food to eat. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this today. Hopefully this finds you well. Until next time, stay free, keep it tactical, and above all else, be chaos, my friends.